I love how people just walk across the street without looking. They just literally step out in the street. And you wonder why there's so many pedestrians that find themselves in trouble. But anyway, so today I'm going to talk about settlement and clearing and how it works. Sorry about the bad shot there. I am more focused on staying alive than in the tutorial. Not really a tutorial, just an overview. For people who don't understand what settlement is and clearing and how it works, we're gonna go over the two components. So first of all, there is let's think of it as a trading side of things, and then there's also a post-trade side of things. So trading is when you place your order. So I'm placing an order to buy or sell something, and I get an execution on it. So let's say I want to buy 100 shares of IBM. You know, I love IBM. 100 shares of IBM order. Order goes out to the market. Someone accepts my order, sends a fill or fills on the order. Let's just say they send a single fill of 100 shares. My order is not complete. That's a trading side of things. The post-trade is what happens next. So, whenever you have an order, obviously there's two parts of the order. There's someone who's requesting something and someone who's giving something. So I wanted IBM, so I put an order in to buy IBM. And someone has IBM to sell. So they take my order and they sell me IBM. See if we can safely cross over here. Right, so you got two sides of it. Things in an ideal world will always be perfect, but we don't live in an ideal world, so sometimes you have issues. Like, for example, I placed an order for 100 shares of IBM, and I got 50 shares in my system. I see 50 shares executed. I'm still waiting on an additional 50, right? Whoever I sent the order to says to me, hey man, I completed your order. I sent you 100 shares. So I only saw half of what was supposedly sent to me, right? So these are things that need to be resolved. Trading is one thing, placing your order, getting executed is one thing. That's all fine and dandy, but we also need to make sure or ensure accuracy. So we have to have both counterparties or both parties in the trade agree. This is how much I received of my order, and this is how much you believe that you sent me on the order. So if there's a discrepancy, we need to address that, right? So what I just described is essentially the first part of the post-trade side of things, which is the settlement process. So again, the trading side of things, you place an order for something, you get an execution on that, whatever you place an order on. Ideally, that's the idea anyway, right? If you're placing an order on something that is highly illiquid, where there's not any volume, then you may not actually get executed. But in an ideal scenario, you get usually people get executions on whatever they request. So here we are at the New York Stock Exchange. Quite ideal. All right, so you place an order, and then in the settlement part of things, or the clearing side of things actually, which is the first part of the post-trade. So the trade has already occurred, already sent an order, already got execution. Now in the post-trade process, we are going to agree upon, hopefully, what was done, both sides. I requested this, I received this much, you agree that you sent me that much, or you don't agree. If we don't agree, correct it. So once that is done, then we have the final part of the process of the post-trade process, which is the settlement process. So, placed an order, got an execution on the order. Wonderful, I'm happy, I'm gonna celebrate. I'm so excited. We agree upon what I received versus what you sent. You said you sent me 50. I see 50 in my order management system, right? My trading system, whatever platform I'm using to place the order. Great, we're all happy. Awesome. Now, guess what? I'm sure you know what comes next, right? You placed an order for something. Someone gave it to you. Well, this is all electronic, right? No one actually gave you anything, right? It's all electronic. We're all just pressing buttons, you know? So you placed an order for something, and someone pressed some buttons on some other computer, and now your computer is showing different numbers than it was showing before, right? So what comes next? Who knows what comes next? Obviously, if I placed an order for something, I want to actually receive something, right? So what comes next? It's a little weird skating backwards, getting used to it. Whoa, and then aiming the camera down. That didn't help. That did not help. That did not help. I'm getting used to it. All right, so obviously the next thing that's gonna come up is delivery, right? I requested something, as I want to actually receive something. So that's the settlement part of things, where assets are moved, right? So whatever it is that, let's say you bought something, you know, time to pay up, buddy. Time to actually pay up. You know, you gotta actually pay whatever it is that you owe. And there's also math to be considered in terms of, let's see, layman's terms. We have a concept called P&L, profit and loss. So we have what's also referred to as net settlement. Basically, generally speaking, no one just places an order for IBM 100 shares and goes home for the day. So there's gonna be additional orders. And think of it, maybe this is not the best analogy, but think about going gambling, right? So you won, you won some money, you lost some money, you won some money, you lost some money. But what's the net effect of what you've been doing in Las Vegas, right? What's the net effect? Same thing with trading. I have an order where it ended up in my favor, another order where it ended up against me. But bottom line is, there's going to be a net effect in terms of my, trying to keep it simple. There's a concept that we call buying power, right? Buying power, the ability of, you know, sort of, just think of it in terms of, you know, how big of an order can I place, for example, right? So based on, I love it, always crashing. Good to see you, Nares. So based on where my trades place me in terms of the net effect, whether I'm up or I'm down or whatever, we have to sort of figure out how I'm going to settle, right? So for example, let's make a simple example. Let's say I started out with $200 worth of buying power. Keep it real simple. $200 worth of buying power. On one trade, I lost $100, right? So I'm down $100. And then on another trade, well, I'm trying to give a simple example. Let's see. If I lost $100 on one trade, and then at the end of the day, I end up with an order that I placed to buy something that was worth $200, I have a problem. I started out with $200 worth of buying power. I lost half of that because of a trade that sort of went against me, or some losses that I suffered. So now I am essentially short $100. So basically what I would need to do for the settlement process is I would need to actually transfer money from an account somewhere into my trading account. So whatever the account is that I use to settle with, so this is the account that I'm trading from, it's down $100. So I need to put some money in there so that I'll actually be able to do the settlement process where I'm actually going to pay for whatever it is that I owe. So that's the basic idea. So you have the trade process, you place your order, you get executed on the order, you have the the clearing process, which is both parties agreeing upon what was done, how many shares were bought versus how many shares were sold. And then the final process you have is the settlement process, which is basically, in short, pay up, buddy. pay me what you owe me. Show me the money. All right, guys. Naraz, what is up? You guys, if this helped you out, go ahead and click on the like button, or even if it didn't necessarily help you out, just support the channel by clicking on the like button. It's really easy. I'm spending my time, as usual, my valuable time, this is my lunch break, doing videos to help other people, trying to simplify things. So what would be nice if you guys could click on the like button, because it supports the channel and supports me being able to spend my time helping strangers. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, I'm gonna let the birds, the ghetto birds, that's what the pigeons are, ghetto birds, I'm gonna let the pigeons sign off for this episode. This is Carlyle Speaks Wall Street. Buongiorno, salut! Buonanotte! All right, guys, let me actually go get some food. This is Carlyle Speaks Wall Street. Signing off.